Why is Halo Reach such a great game that's in the heart of countless Halo fans? Seriously, a Halo game without Master Chief? There's no way a mainline Halo game could tell a great story without the franchise's main character. If you said that, you would be right, because look, he is in Reach and he's right over there. He's just taking himself a quick nap before he saves the universe for his first time. No, but seriously, Reach really is good, and a part of what makes it so special is actually the lack of the big green guy. No, not that one. The game doesn't involve the Chief personally, but the work that Noble Team does is the foundation for what the entire Halo franchise is built on. And it's their story that makes the game so compelling for many. It's the reason why Reach is their favorite Halo game, and I am one of those people, so don't expect my bias towards it not to show. Now, that doesn't mean I don't have problems with the game, as there are a ton of different things I wish I could change about it on a gameplay level. That isn't what I'm here to talk about. The purpose of this video is to analyze the campaign and how the story fits into the world of Halo. It's not for me to go on a rant about how stupid armor lock is, and the person who came up with the balloon system should be incarcerated. Because trust me, if it was, we'd be here a while. So, before I get off track anymore, let's get into it. Welcome to the cut. When Halo Reach was released, its purpose was to fill in the gap between Halo Wars and Halo CE, and that's what it does. It tells the story of Planet Reach and eventually its fall. Now, the events covered in the game aren't new. The fall of Reach was first covered in the book of the same name, which I'm sure many of you already knew. Actually, the book came out before the game ever did. So, is Halo technically a book series adapted into a video game? No. I'll spare you the details, but the book follows the Halo story Bible, which was written by Bungie. So, Halo is still technically their baby, even if a lot of the story is owed to writers outside of the studio. So, given the fact that Reach's story isn't new, there are bound to be some problems that arise. And this is why, believe it or not, Reach wasn't universally received with open arms like it is today. Halo lore nerds in particular were upset because it does change quite a bit of the story. I mean, I really can't blame them. If I was a diehard fan of a franchise and a new project came in and started changing the fundamentals of the plot and making the previous work essentially obsolete, I would get a little upset too. But now it seems things have calmed down a bit as the games have been revealed as having the final say over the books in terms of canon story. One thing people like to mention when discussing Reach is its atmosphere and the different emotions that the game makes you feel. This, in my opinion, is what sets the game apart from other entries in the Halo series, and just other games in general. Let me give you an example so you can understand what I mean. Take a look at the opening to the game, and specifically focus on the main character, which is you, the player. First, we get a nice long shot of the landscape as we see our character riding off into the distance. This is cool and all, and it shows off some nice visuals, but this isn't what I'm interested in. I'm gonna let the scene play out for a bit, and I'll explain what I'm getting at in a second. And pause. You're probably thinking you missed it, right? What in those last couple seconds could have possibly been so important? Well, I can assure you, if you have eyes that work, you didn't. What I want to talk about is so simple I just might lose a few of you. You're probably gonna get some flashbacks to high school English class. But I do have a point here, and it revolves around this warthog, and more specifically its size and the size of the two inside of it. Hang with me, I promise this will make at least some sense in a second. These few seconds are so simple, yet they invoke a multitude of emotions in me no matter how many times I've seen it. I still remember to this day, the first time I played the campaign as a kid and what was going through my head.
Oh my god!
Noble 6.
You're so fucking cool, holy shit!
Even as a kid, I knew the scene was cool even if I didn't know exactly why. It just subconsciously made me feel heroic. Now don't get me wrong, Master Chief is one cool dude, but this was supposed to be me. and this scene alone got young me so hyped to start blasting some aliens. Now breaking the scene down is what I imagine Film School 101 to be. A low angle shot to make the subject appear large and menacing, and the following shot to emphasize that we are the main character in the story. Like, look at the size difference between you and the Marine there. Pretty simple stuff, but it's definitely effective. This isn't the only example of nice camera work, and really this whole game is shot like a movie. There are tons of cinematic moments that have stayed stuck in my head since the first time I played the game. Here's another really cool one that I still think about. In the fourth mission, Nightfall, the opening cutscene is somewhat unique as the camera doesn't act as a simple observer. At first, it seems the camera is looking through what would be Noble Six's eyes as it zooms in on June up ahead. But then, from the left of the screen, our main character steps into frame and begins to advance up the cliffside now that the coast is clear. But it progresses even further as the camera seems to stand up and walk behind us, even climbing over an obstacle with us, and looks down at the far drop just inches away. There are a few other moments in the game where the camera behaves in a similar way, but this is definitely the most obvious example. Also, I just want to put this scene somewhere in the video because honestly it's one of my personal coolest gaming moments of all time. So I'm just gonna let it play out because it's dope.
It's over! We've been engaged! Bad guy coming out! That Tango group has permission to pursue.
-4, stay on the entrance. 2, handle her. 5 and 6, clear the hole.
But framing and camera angles aren't the only way that Reach adds to its atmosphere. While cutscenes are great at getting across exposition, they're usually only a fraction of the game. Usually. The atmosphere apparent during gameplay is also just as important, if not more so. This is an area where I feel some games fall short, and Reach excels in. Now, most of these examples are subtle, but it's the attention to detail that makes the whole game come together. The first gameplay detail is in the set pieces, and a great place to start is in the very first mission. The first mission does a lot in terms of world building and creating tension. First, we come across a burning warthog and a distress beacon left by what was most likely the troopers we are searching for.
Found the beacon.
As we move down the hill, we find a house filled with farmers hiding from something. They heard gunfire in the night, and one of their sons has been killed. In the next building, we find the missing troopers, and it isn't good. There's blood all over the room, and it appears that they were interrogated. And as we move outside, we engage with our first conflict with the Covenant on Reach.
Boss, I see movement outside the structure. Noble 2, move up to the west. We're about to be flanked. Contact! Contact!
And just like that, the story begins. Another nice detail that adds to the game's depth is what's going on in the background around you. In several missions, you can see different battles raging off in the distance. These aren't anything too crazy, but for a game of Reach's age, it's something special and it stands out. Here, we even return to a location that we've been to previously, and we can see the contrast between our first and second time being at these locations. Even the water level has risen because Reach is starting to look a lot like California and the planet's ice caps are melting. Lastly, we have the NPCs around you and how they interact with the world around them. Now, the AI isn't perfect, but they do add to the experience in a meaningful way. The other members of Noble Team actually fight alongside you in a way that seems realistic, especially for its time. Your teammates return fire and react how you would expect an elite soldier would on the battlefield. Unlike in other games where you have to kill every single enemy by yourself, your teammates actually put up a fight of their own. Marines in Halo games have always made you feel larger than life, and this is no exception in Reach. While you can take hit after hit thanks to your energy shield, they die in just a few hits. Now this is a new thing for Halo, but in a game like Reach, it just feels fitting. The doom and gloom setting gives their deaths more impact in my opinion, because you weren't saving the universe like Master Chief. Instead, you were fighting for your survival, just like those Marines that are beside you.
Good. Execute.
Okay, if you haven't experienced Halo Reach for yourself, now would be the time. If you don't have the game somehow, I will link a great video in the description where you can watch all the cutscenes as well as any gameplay important to the story. It's just over 2 hours, so it really does make for a nice sci-fi war movie. Not really sure how you made it all the way to this point in the video if you haven't played the game, but now would be the time to pause if you haven't. For me, this is one of those games I wish I could play again for the first time, and I really don't want to be the one that takes that away from you. If you're still here, you probably already know what I'm about to get into, or you just don't mind spoilers for a game that's going on 11 years old at this point. The first member of Noble Team to fall is Jorge, and for me, it's the hardest hitting. Six and Jorge are tasked with blowing up a Covenant supercarrier. After launching into space and docking on Anchor 9, Jorge goes to assist with the slip space drive that is being used as a makeshift bomb. Now Jorge has a personal connection with Reach, and even more so with Dr. Halsey. So, when he learns that she is most likely dead in the attack on Sword Base, he decides he will do whatever it takes to defeat the Covenant.
Noble 5, please repeat.
Pull up surface grid 19 by 22.
Gladly. Only Sword Base, Sector 18G.
Verbal enhance.
Noble 5, your pulse is elevated. There is nothing you can do for Dr. Halsey and the others inside Sword Base. The mathematics are determinate. Noble 5?
I know.
Later, we learn that the detonator for the bomb has malfunctioned. Jorge, without hesitation, decides this is his final mission.
Seconds to end point.
Yeah. Bad news is, time is fried. I'm gonna have to fire it manually.
That's a one-way trip.
We all make it sooner or later. Better get going, Six. They're gonna need you down there. Listen, Reach has been good to me. Time has come to return the favor. Don't deny me this.
He picks up Six and sends him right back down to the surface.
Tell him to make it count.
Jorge believes that what he is doing is the key to saving Reach, and after losing Halsey, it seems like a fitting farewell.
Commander, we just lost our signals with HQ.
Backup channels.
Searching. Nada. Can't say what's jamming us.
You heard her. Dead zone confirmed. Command will not be keeping us company this trip.
I'm lonely already.
The second death in Reach, and the most abrupt, is Kat. The first time I played through the game, I was left dumbfounded by just how quickly she was taken out. Spartans are literal killing machines, and for her to be taken out so effortlessly, well, it just didn't sit right with me. Even as a kid, I was taken aback by this moment, and revisiting it now, it just hits that much harder. The moments leading up to her death, we see Noble in less than ideal circumstances. The team is beginning to realize just how dire of a situation they're currently in.
You didn't answer my question.
You want to know if we're losing?
I know we're losing. I want to know if we've lost.
These have been a rough couple days for the team, and this scene helps to show that to the player.
What's he doing on an open
And
channel?
then, a broadcast from Colonel Holland fills the room as Covenant forces appear to attack the city.
Sierra 259, if you're receiving, I am authorizing override of radio security protocols to link with this channel.
How long for a secure link?
I can't guarantee secure anymore.
Could Covenant trace it to us?
I could.
Noble Leader, this is a Priority 1 hail. If you are receiving, acknowledge immediately.
Keep it brief.
Carter here. Yes, sir.
We got movement. Multiple Covenant vehicles vacating the area. And they're in a hurry.
How often you see Covenant retreat for no reason?
Radiation flare. Big. 40 million root guns.
Just lost Holland. What's going on?
Soon after, an explosion tears through the windows, forcing Noble Team to evacuate the building.
Close.
How close?
That close!
As the team takes off for 2 elevators, we start to see some emotions from Kat, and she appears clearly upset by the situation that they are in. As the doors open, Kat and Six enter the same elevator. Still dazed from the explosion, she even misses the button to start the elevator's descent.
Don't worry, I'm on it. Our best option is a fallout bunker on sub-level 2, 96 meters northeast. We get orders from Holland, sir?
We're being redeployed to Sword Base.
Sword? Covenant own it now!
Which is why they want us for a torch and burn op.
As the team reaches sub-level 2, Six and Kat step out a few seconds after the rest of the team, which is a nice touch.
Maybe, but according to
And while
Holland, the
discussing their plans for their next mission, Kat is cut off.
Get off calling a demolition a priority 1.
And that's it. The end of her story, right there.
Come on, get in!
All we are left with is scared civilians in the background, and Kat's lifeless foot being dragged against a giant metal door of the fallout shelter. Spartans are perceived as unstoppable in the eyes of civilians. So to have one taken out so quickly in front of already terrified families, it just hits harder. In the subtitles here, you can see some dialogue that would have been missed otherwise, and I believe it adds a lot to the scene. Now, there are only 4 remaining in Noble Team.
Tier 1. I could send you to the brig for interfering with my work.
Maybe you'd like to join her.
I'm sorry?
We're currently under emergency planetary directive, winter contingency. I'm sure you're familiar with the punishment for civilian interference with the Spartan deployment.
Are you threatening me, Commander?
Just making a reading suggestion, ma'am. Let's move, Noble Team.
Being the leader of Noble Team, Carter has an obvious importance to the rest of the squad. And it goes both ways, as his squad is essentially his family.
The Covenant are jamming all comms to command.
Up to this point in the story, Carter has seen 3 members of his squad die, which has surely put a toll on him. First is the original Noble 6, Tom A293, who we do not see outside of promotional material for the game. Feeling responsible for his death, he is left conflicted, but he knows Noble Team cannot operate at 100% without a full squad.
You're riding with me, Noble Six. Not gonna lie to you, Lieutenant. You're stepping into some shoes the rest of the squad would rather leave unfilled. Me, I'm just happy to have Noble back up to full strength.
And this is where the player enters the story. Carter has also recently lost George, the heart of the squad, a cat who he seems to have the closest connection with.
Who's your money on this time?
Her.
You always pick her.
She's always had him dialed in.
These recent wounds have left a toll on him, but he still has a job to do. His only goal now is to get Cortana to the Pillar of Autumn, and that's what he plans on doing. After suffering heavy damage, Emile and Six head to the pillar on foot, while Carter tries to draw fire away from them. All is going according to plan until a Covenant scarab blocks their path. Here is where he decides to sacrifice himself so his team can complete their mission.
I've got the map.
Solid copy. Hit 'em all, boss.
You're on your own, Noble. Carter out.
Crevice to the east. Let's go.
Dot, check your vector.
Vector confirmed, Commander. We are precisely where Oni has directed. Apologies. Coordinates revised. Please confirm?
Revised?
By an AI of unknown origin, whose clearance is well above my own.
Well, it's pointing us a click and a half east and 2,000 feet underground.
I didn't bring my shovel, Commander.
Sir, I say we go AI free on this one. Obviously, these coordinates are junk, and the longer we go chasing.
What is this, Dot?
Our revised route, Commander.
All right, we came this far.
Now, Emile and Six are the only two left as June is off escorting Dr. Halsey.
You too, right?
They make their way to the dry dock to rendezvous with Captain Keyes. Emile mans the mass driver cannon used to clear the skies for Keyes and the Autumn, while Six clears an LZ so they can pass off the AI. In the struggle, two elites reach Emile, and one stabs him through the back. However, not one to go down without a fight, he takes the second one with him.
Who's next? I'm ready! How about you?
Even in death, he is the coolest of the squad.
Go with him. It's
This is the reason his death means the most from
It's been
him.
an honor, sir. Likewise.
He won't be forgotten.
Do what I can to draw their fire.
Good fight. All stations, brace for cast-off.
Noble Six has completed their mission. They ensured that Cortana made it to the pillar and allowed it to reach orbit. All that is left for them is to survive. There is no help coming. But fortunately for Six, this is exactly an environment that they excel in. Six is all there is left to defend Reach, and that's exactly what he does until his final breath. A lone wolf until the end. Now, if you've been paying attention, then you knew that this moment was coming. In the opening seconds of the game, we see our shattered helmet in the dirt with a glass planet Reach in the backdrop. Even the promotional material for Reach back at its original release date said that we already knew the story before we went in. Reach was destined to fall, and there was nothing we could do to stop it. Noble Team, well, they were doomed from the start. Clearly, I have a lot of love for this game, and I could keep going on and on about what makes it so important to me. I had a few more talking points I wanted to fit into the video, but I didn't really feel like they fit alongside my other ones, so I'll instead briefly go over them now. The first and the most important topic was how badly I used to wish for Reach's story to be adapted into a film. Obviously that never happened, and it's a lot easier said than done. Halo Reach's narrative, when separated from the rest of Halo's lore and backstory, it leaves a bit to be desired, I have to admit. The game really leans into the fact that most of the players are already Halo fans, and really that's how the game was made. Reach was Bungie's swan song and their farewell to the Halo franchise before going off to develop Destiny. So I always keep that in my mind when I revisit Reach and analyze it alongside the other Halo stories rather than separate from it. Obviously, that isn't the fairest way to analyze, but it's just my default way of thinking. With that said, I've given up on the idea of a true blockbuster adaptation, but there is proof that a similar story can work well on the big screen. Now, many on the internet have suggested this idea before me, so this isn't any sort of groundbreaking idea, but there is another little-known sci-fi space war franchise that released a very similar movie and performed quite well. Of course, I'm talking about Star Wars, and more specifically, Rogue One. The parallels between the movie and the game are quite striking, for lack of a better word. They literally are the same story with a different cast in a different universe. They both are immediate prequels to the start of their respective franchises. They both follow two squads set with delivering sensitive information, or in Halo's case, the AI Cortana. Also, both of these packages are essential to the start of each of their franchises. And finally, funnily enough, the majority of the cast in both die on a planet, being destroyed from a seemingly unstoppable force. Now, I'm not trying to suggest that Star Wars ripped off Halo because I wouldn't call those crazy original ideas, but I am saying that Rogue One kind of filled that Noble Team-sized hole in my heart. And another point that I didn't fit into the video earlier was the tons of assassination animations in the game, and how they mesmerized me as a kid. There were so many for all types of situations, and that detail still blows me away today. Most modern games, and even later Halo games, don't seem to have the same attention to detail, like seeing your character pull out and return their knife at the start and end of an animation. And most of the time, this type of stuff is sold through microtransactions. So the fact that Reach had so many, and they were all unlocked from the start, is just something that I can appreciate. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is how Kat turns into a turtle right here. It didn't seem fitting to bring up right before she died, so here it is. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, I appreciate you spending your time to hear me talk about this game I love so much. If you like the video, please consider leaving a like and a comment to help show this video to other Halo fans that might enjoy it. It really is the easiest way to help the channel grow. And if you're interested in hearing what I have to say about other games that I'm passionate about, check out my channel and subscribe to see more. Right now, I'm trying to reach 50 subscribers, so it would mean a lot to me if you hit that sub button. But with all that being said, thank you again for watching, and have a nice day.
Oh, it's a... you bastard! Yeah. Yo, go in, kid, go! I'm taking out their fucking big old ghosty boy. Ow, being shot in the back! Ah. Oh shit, right now. Yeah, that's what the AFKs get for being AFK. Get me out of here, get me out of here! Get me out of here! Two of us just ran into a nade. Davis, I'm coming to pick you up. I'm here, Davis, I'm here. Jay Will! It's Jay Will! I'm running him over! Come on! Yeah! Pull up. Where are you? Run, I'm coming! Run, get out of there! Oh, that's our teammate, though. Oh no, I threw a nade! Run! 1 minute remaining. I kept throwing a nade! Can I throw nades while I'm in? No, I can try it. Alright, let's get it. We got this. We got this easy. Easy comeback, easy comeback. Bro, this thing doesn't have a lot of health. You gotta kill him all. Oh. There's a man with a rocket right below us.
Rocket.